All right, just fix the hair and oh, hey, how you doing there? Welcome back, all of you beautiful and creative people. Wild coming at you to give you another awesome video. And in this video today, I'm gonna go over my top 3 tips that's gonna help out brand new painters. In fact, these are 3 awesome tips if you just started painting or you're gonna do your very first painting. You don't wanna miss it because it's gonna change the way you paint even before that brush hits the canvas. Sounds too good to be true? No, of course not. It's a Wild Creates video. I dominate them every time. Let's go. Oh my gosh, how I miss you all so much. This is your first time here and you're looking to expand on your creative adventures out there? Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below and tick that bell so you know when my videos go live for you. Let me guess, you're a brand new painter and you're struggling, or you're worried that your first painting's not gonna come out the way you want, which can be, a detriment to you, because I want you to succeed so that way you continue with your creative adventures out there. So these next 3 awesome tips are for everyone out there that feels uneasy about starting their new creative journey. It's all right, I'm here to hold your hand with great hair. So let's dive into it. Our first tip is technically a 2-parter, so stick with me on this one. If you're a brand new painter out there, you're most likely painting on a budget, or you don't want to waste all your money up front because you don't know if you're gonna like this for the long haul. And that is completely fine. I don't want you wasting your money, unless it's on me. Shameless promotion there to use my links. I want to make sure you're in this for the long haul. And when you do spend your money wisely or frugally or on a budget, you generally cheap out on the canvas. And buying cheap canvases is perfectly fine. In fact, I actually recommend it. But what happens when you buy a cheap canvas is the gesso covering the canvas is pretty poor. In fact, it's really thin, it could be patchy and sparse, which means when you paint on top of it, your canvas is gonna act like a sponge and really soak in that paint, not allowing it to flow, which is gonna make your first few paintings a struggle. You're gonna be straight on the struggle bus from the second you start your painting, and I don't want that. So what you need to do is put a good layer of gesso on top of your canvas before you start painting. Now, I don't care if you buy a super expensive canvas or a super cheap one. I still want you to put a layer of gesso on. I don't care if it's double primed, triple primed, quadruple primed, primed by Skynet. I don't care. Put one on there so that way you know it's gonna be sealed correctly. Now, the second part of this tip is I really want you to start using gray gesso at the beginning. Just add a little bit of black to white. Hey, that's a little bit of color theory there for you. Very tough and very difficult. Glad we could understand it. By adding a little black to your white, you're gonna get a very light gray gesso, which allows you to cover your canvas. And when it's tinted with a light gray, you can see spots that you miss. So that way you can avoid what the manufacturer does at the beginning. It's gonna allow you to see where those patches are so you can make sure you cover it entirely. And when it dries and you put your liquid clear or you put your liquid white on there, you're gonna have beautiful gradients that are velvety smooth all the way across. So to recap, if you're a beginner, start using gesso. Use it right away. And if you're on your very first paintings, make sure you use gray gesso so that way you can see where you miss on top of your canvas. Trust me, you're gonna love this tip right off the bat. I'm gonna let you in on a personal secret that no artist will ever share. Your first few paintings are gonna suck, and they're gonna suck hard. Here is my very first landscape painting I ever did. And yeah, it actually looks pretty much like a landscape, and I'm really proud of it. I actually have it hanging in my house. But it is in no way a great painting. There's a lot of flaws and errors. And when you start painting, the cool thing about doing oil painting or wet on wet painting, you can make a landscape in almost virtually no time. So you get confident. In fact, you actually get a little too cocky and you go too big for your britches and you try to paint like with the big boys up there and you're like, hey, I can start doing really, really hard techniques within just a few paintings. Don't do that. My strong tip for anyone out there, whatever first painting you choose to do, paint that same painting again and again. Paint it a few times, because when you paint it a few times, you learn a lot more about how the sky and light works, how paint applies, how trees should be done, how you can work in layers and planes and highlights can cascade down and away. And when you get something like that, you really can transform your paintings. And this is my painting just a few days later after I really figured out what I was doing wrong and got things the way that I like them. You can make strong improvements by sticking with the same painting over and over, because that's going to instill confidence in you. Yes, I know it's going to be boring at first. You want to play with colors, you want to play with tools, you want to play with brushes, you want to try to do different things. Yeah, that's really exciting, but if they suck when you're doing them, you're not going to enjoy it, which is why I want you to do a few repetitions of paintings, because that's going to instill tools, confidence, and give you all the key elements and aspects you need to dominate painting as you go forward. There's a lot of motivational passion in that, so I hope you enjoyed it. No joke, this is literally one of my favorite paintings I've ever done. I know it looks dumb, but I love it. My next tip's gonna seem a little contradictory to what we said in tip number 1, because I do want you to save money, but the biggest flaw new painters or beginner painters make is they kind of cheap out on the materials, paints, and tools that they need. And thus, I would really recommend getting yourself a basic painting kit at the start. They're fantastic. Yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit more or a little bit of a premium, but if you can get all the correct tools, paints, and supplies that you need, it's gonna make it easier for you at the beginning. And again, it goes back to the confidence thing. If we can get you confidence, it's gonna make you do it over and over. And then it wouldn't be a waste of money because it gave you exactly what you wanted. So don't cheap out, try to piece out too many materials at the beginning. Don't be afraid to save up a couple of bucks and go for something like this Bob Ross wet on wet painting kit. I've done a full unboxing and review of this. I recommend taking a look in the bottom of the video description there, or I'll put it on top of the card. Can't remember which side it's on. I think it's over there eventually. I think so, yeah? Okay, cool. But by getting a kit, you're gonna get everything you need at the start, and it's gonna allow you to play a lot more when you do get that confidence. So make sure you look into getting a kit. Now, you don't have to get this exact kit, although I really recommend it. They do have some other ones out there, like there's the basic kit, but even if you wanna do like, you know, acrylics or you wanna do watercolor, do a little bit of research and see what people are into, so that way you get the correct type of painting supplies you need and you spend your money, again, wisely. Not even kidding, I own so many of these, I love them. Whenever I do painting tutorials, people love this. Can't recommend it enough. Plus, I mean, look at Bob's face there. You're gonna be making some happy trees. Okay, little bonus tip for you at the end here. If you're literally just starting, you've done 1, 2, 3, a handful of paintings, whatever it is, here's one of the best tips I can give you. Learn to laugh at yourself as you're going through the process. If you can learn to have joy and laughter at this process, and it's a good stress reliever for you, it's gonna be so much more fun to paint. The problem with a lot of painters that are starting out is they don't see results right away and they get very frustrated and it festers within inside them. Don't do that. Laugh at your paintings. If you make mistakes, it's okay. You can always scrape it off and do it again. That's the awesome thing about art. It's not always set in stone, and unless I guess you're doing marble, but that's another channel, so don't watch me for marble. Sculpting looks really hard. But if you can learn to laugh, this whole painting adventure and creative journey is gonna be so much more fun for you. Like seriously, how do people sculpt things out of stone and marble? That's so amazing. I'm still trying to figure out what Common Core is. I'm so glad that I get to share my experience and education with all of you out there, because trust me, I know what it's like to struggle at the beginning. I struggled a lot, which is why I love making all these videos for you. And if you do enjoy these videos, there's a few things you can do to help support my channel for free. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tick that bell so you know when my videos go live for you. You can even leave a comment down below, and if you want to go above and beyond, you can even use the links down in the video description below, which helps support my channel for free. So thank you all so much for that awesome support. Now, of course, I'm not done. If you like this video, there's a few other things you can check out. A video over here to the side that's gonna show you 5 awesome tips that's gonna change the way you paint. Really recommend checking that out. And also a video on how to properly hold a palette knife so you can be a mountain and snow master. Until next time, all you beautiful and creative people, take care, and of course, peace.